Hey, what's happening YouTube? What's going on, guys? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and this is kind of a new series that I'm just going to be toying around with. We're going to call today's video This Week in Shopify, and kind of the idea here is I don't know if we'll have enough news and information and new apps and things like that to warrant doing this once a week, but I'd like to at least do this once a month, maybe a couple times a month, and if there's enough news, current events, new apps, things worth mentioning in regards to Shopify, maybe I'll try to start doing it once a week on Mondays. But basically what we're going to be doing in today's video, we're going to be kind of talking about Shopify news, Shopify current events, some new Shopify apps that have dropped, and really just kind of all things having to do with Shopify. So let me know if you guys kind of like this format, if you guys would like to see this again in the future. And without further ado, let's get right on into it. So somebody on Reddit in the Shopify forum today said Shopify is increasing its currency conversion rates to 2%. Now, I believe it was already 1.5% for U.S. citizens, and if you're outside of the U.S., it was 2%. I don't know that, I haven't personally gotten this email. I don't have a lot of international transactions on my stores or stores that I manage, so I haven't personally seen this. If this is true, and again, this is just kind of anecdotal from a Reddit user, if this is true for U.S. customers, that would mean a bump from 1.5 to 2%, which is a 0.5% jump. However, oftentimes people who don't realize that Shopify charges for things get outraged and are like, "Oh my gosh, Shopify's not refunding me for a product I returned." And it's like, well, no shit, they haven't been doing that for a while, and most processors don't. So people get easily outraged. That is a possible change. Maybe Shopify increased conversion rates. For anybody who doesn't know what a conversion rate is, a conversion rate is if you're in the U.S., your store is based in dollars, and somebody from Canada orders and pays in Canadian dollars, Shopify will charge a 1.5% fee to convert the currency for you. We're going to be touching on a couple of kind of cool Shopify apps that have either recently hit the market or recently kind of started gaining some traction. This one, for the vast majority of stores, probably not something you want to do, but I thought it was kind of cool and thought it was worth mentioning. This Shopify app is a background music player. And what this app does, it's going to allow you to upload either music or an audio file and basically have it autoplay when somebody goes on your store. If any of you guys were on the internet back in the days of MySpace, when you would land on somebody's MySpace page and, that Shaggy song, I Didn't Do It or whatever was playing in the background, same kind of thing. Generally speaking, Google doesn't really like when things autoplay. It's just not a good customer experience. If somebody's sneakily shopping at work, they don't really want the speaker to start blasting out some music. But for certain select stores, it may make sense. If you have a Shopify store selling like 80s gear or, video game merchandise or something like that, maybe it might be cool to have like the Mario Brothers, Simon is probably violating copyright, but just as an example, it might be cool to have like the Mario Brothers song playing in the background. So this app is called Background Music Player. It's a completely free app, won't cost you anything. Again, for the vast majority of stores, I would recommend probably not doing this, but I thought it was pretty neat and thought it was worth mentioning nonetheless. Let's see. This I thought was kind of a cool app. It's called Sifton for shops. It's put out by a developer or a company called Sifton. And what this app does, it allows you to learn what people are saying about you online. I believe this app is specifically geared towards Twitter and Reddit. And, here's an example. Somebody says on Reddit, "Can somebody recommend a good store?" I can recommend https://store.example.com, but sometimes the shipping takes long. So let's see if they got a couple other examples. Okay, so this is kind of what the back end looks like if you're using it. And here's some examples. "Damn, you ordered on Christmas and got your order already. I ordered." So basically, if people are talking about your store, good, bad, whatever, you'll be notified that people are talking about your store. This could be cool for a number of uses. If somebody is constantly talking good about your store, that may be somebody you want to bring on as an influencer. Or that may be somebody who you want to use for user-generated content, meaning you're going to use your customer's testimonial or whatever in some of your marketing efforts. That could be one use of it. If there's anybody saying anything negative about your store and there's something that you can clear up or at the very least publicly apologize for, that would be another cool use for it. So again, this one is Sifton for shops, and it will allow you to essentially do social listening about your store. Yeah, there's all types of tools and apps out there that allow you to do the same thing and listen for various keywords. Even Google has free tools for this. But the fact that this is directly integrated into your Shopify store, I think will make it easier for you to just keep an eye on it. You get 1 month, one free mention per month on the free plan. Otherwise, they have a $9.95 plan, which really isn't too bad. This one may appeal to some people. I know a lot of Shopify store owners are like really concerned about people stealing their images. People who are drop shippers may be worried that people are going to right click on your image, save the image, then throw it into a Google image search and either try to find your supplier if it's a competitor of yours, or if it's a customer, maybe they're going to try to find your supplier in order to buy directly from AliExpress or wherever you're ordering from. You guys may have been on websites like this before where your right mouse click is disabled. So that's basically what this is going to do. This is going to protect your images, protect your text. People aren't going to be able to copy and paste anything on your store, and they're not going to be able to download images off your shop. Some of you guys may be interested in something like this. This is a completely free app, costs you nothing. You know, if somebody really wants to take images or whatever else, they could do either like a screenshot, or there's an app that I really like called Save as PNG. It allows you to right click and save any image as a PNG, even if it's a web image, or even if people have right mouse click disabled. So there are ways to get around it. But if you want to put a little hurdle up in trying to stop people from taking your images or copying your text, this is an app that may appeal to you, and this one is called Disable Right Mouse Click, and it's by Roar Theme. High Conversion. I'm actually using this app on one of the stores that I manage. I guess High Conversion is the company. The app is actually called, what's the app called? The app is actually called Recommend, Upsell, and Cross-Sell. What's kind of interesting about this, you guys know how Amazon, let's actually hop over to Amazon. So right now I'm on an Amazon product page for a Monstera plant. And you know how Amazon does these, instant recommendations, products related to this product, customers who bought this also bought this. Basically what High Conversion did, High Conversion licensed Amazon's actual technology. As we all know, Amazon is the top dog when it comes to e-commerce. Amazon is the best converting e-commerce site on the internet. And Amazon is pretty good at recommending either similar products or products that other people have bought. And this company called High Conversion is the first one to actually license that software and bring it to Shopify store owners like you and I. It should be noted that this doesn't come without quite the hefty price tag. There is a free plan. The free plan allows you to do essentially nothing. You can basically download the app and that's about it. The app can start learning while it's in that free period. But this is going to be base plan $195 a month, which is going to get you up to 150,000 impressions, and then it's going to be $75 per additional 50,000 impressions. So if you're going to use this is an amazing app. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. But this is not a cheap app, so you're probably going to need to have a pretty successful store and be making some decent money before you move on to something like that. And again, if you want to see what this is like, hop over to Amazon. I was going to say Amazon uses High Conversion. High Conversion is using the same technology from Amazon. Here we have a news story. This is somewhat of a controversial one. I think this is kind of scary in terms of the direction that Shopify is going. So there's this Shopify store called BringAmmo.com. Now, when I heard about it, I initially expected it to be like an ammo, where you can buy bulk ammo and things like that, or gun accessories. It actually appears to be more of a print-on-demand store. They sell sneakers, they sell American flag hats, they sell a lot of kind of conservative and kind of right-leaning stuff. I stand with the police. Trump, gun control requires a steady hand. Anyhow, these guys, and I'll link to all the articles and all the apps down in the description box below. These guys were selling a t-shirt that said Free Kyle. The t-shirt was raising money for Kyle Rittenhouse's legal defense fund. Shopify took this product off of their store, and they didn't shut down the store. It wasn't like Trump's store where they shut it down, but they did remove the product from the store. Now, We're not going to argue or debate here about whether Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer or somebody who used self-defense. We're not going to debate whether he's an asshole or not. What we do want to talk about here is one of the benefits of having your own e-commerce store and not selling on Amazon, not selling on eBay, not selling on Etsy, not selling on platforms, is you can get away from these platforms. You can get away from other people's rules. You're not having to abide by these platforms' return policies. You're not having to abide by their content policies. However, something that we're beginning to see much more of is that Shopify is starting to kind of make moral judgments, ethical judgments, or just kind of get in the way of commerce. And Shopify is starting to say, oh, we don't like that t-shirt, so we're going to take that off the site. No, you're not allowed to sell this. Shopify at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day is a website builder, nothing more, nothing less. If you are using WordPress, aside from the company who's hosting your website, there's nobody who can say anything or take anything off of your website. But we saw Shopify take down Trump's website. We now see Shopify removing products from somebody's website. And, for these, you might say Trump's an asshole, Kyle Rittenhouse is an asshole. Good for Shopify. I'm glad they took it down. But let's think about this in a different context. So there's a lot of people out there who sell courses and digital products, right? So let's say I have a Shopify store that sells courses on digital marketing, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, how to make money online, and I'm putting up all these different courses. And then one day I decide, you know what? I got a course on how to make money on Shopify or how to set up a Shopify store, but not everybody wants to use a Shopify. What if I make a course on how to set up and run a successful BigCommerce store? Well, what if Shopify is like, we don't want, it's fine and dandy if you want to make courses talking about Shopify and why you should set up a store on Shopify, but BigCommerce is a competitor of ours. We don't want you encouraging people to set up stores on BigCommerce. So what if Shopify takes down my course that I put up about selling on BigCommerce, right? That's not anything controversial. It's not anything offensive. But it's not in Shopify's best interest for me to be promoting their competitor. So Shopify might decide, we're going to take down this course because we don't want you promoting BigCommerce. I think you guys can just kind of see the direction that this could potentially go in, where Shopify has a say over what stores are allowed to be up, what you're allowed to sell on your store. And even though the e-commerce industry as a whole is moving in a direction of renting your store as opposed to owning your store, what we're seeing from Shopify and really kind of big tech as a whole gives me a lot of pause in using Shopify and might make me lean towards running like a Magenta or a WooCommerce store in the future. Or if BigCommerce or Volusion or Squarespace or some other platform were to come out and make a big kind of move that, look, we value free speech, we're not going to get in the middle of your commerce, then I might go with a platform like that. I thought this was worth mentioning as well. That's all I really got for you guys today. Like I said, we threw out a couple of interesting Shopify apps, told you about high conversion, licensing, Amazon's technology, and then talked about Shopify removing a product from a store because they didn't like the free Kyle t-shirt that was raising money for Kyle Rittenhouse. If you guys have any other Shopify news, Shopify announcements, anything else worth mentioning or that you want to discuss, feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these This Week in Shopify videos, let me know and I'll try to keep them coming. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button, ring the bell. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.